Hello, basketball friends, I'm a Lakers fan and I bring you updated news. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Anthony Davis is gone, but fans miss the player, who is a great defender and expert in rebounding and has a high score. Of course, we Lakers fans love Luka Doncic and know how the team has grown since his arrival. But Davis is unhappy with the Dallas Mavericks, and if he asks for a trade, the Lakers could bring him back and become the biggest power in the NBA. It would be hard to imagine any team being able to stop Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Even if they lose the rising star Austin Reaves, the Lakers will be the overwhelming favorite to win championships. And there is no doubt in today's NBA, because Rob Pelinka could shock the basketball world again and make another big deal. NBA rumors: Lakers will have the big three to be champions next season. Although the Los Angeles Lakers will enter the postseason as underrated title contenders, their need for a dynamic frontcourt asset is still evident. The franchise may get by with Alex Len and Jackson Hayes controlling the paint, but their best bet would be to acquire a power forward or center capable of dominating on both ends in free agency. Reuniting with an electric Dallas Mavericks big man who spent 5.5 seasons with the Lakers could be a viable option for the franchise this summer. Anthony Davis was traded from the New Orleans Pelicans to the Lakers in a blockbuster 2019 free agency trade. Davis made his presence in Los Angeles immediately, helping the franchise capture a championship in the bubble in year one with the Lakers. However, Davis's inability to remain on the hardwood quickly became problematic. From suffering an MCL sprain in his left knee to experiencing calf and groin injuries, Davis was frequently in and out of Los Angeles's lineup. Still, with the 10-time All-Star exhibiting his reliability in ball screen scenarios, decisive low-post moves, fluid high-post jump shot, and vicious rim protection when healthy, many believed the Lakers wouldn't consider trading him anytime soon. On February 2, Los Angeles shocked the NBA by swapping Davis for Luka Doncic in an unexpected multi-team deal. A left adductor injury limited Davis to 9 regular season games with the Mavericks after the trade. Impressively, though, the Kentucky product averaged 20.0 points, 10.1 assists, and 2.2 blocks per game, shooting 46.1% from the field. Dallas, which will compete in the play-in tournament, appears keen on investing in Davis for the long haul. Still, the Lakers could attempt to steal Davis from the Mavericks in free agency by relinquishing Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and draft capital. The 5-time All-NBA member didn't ask to be traded mid-season, making it reasonable to assume he enjoyed playing alongside LeBron James in Los Angeles and was likely planning on finishing his career with the Lakers. A notable trade involving Davis, the Lakers, and the Mavericks would undoubtedly break the internet this summer. Jared Vanderbilt explains how Lakers plan to defend Anthony Edwards. Ex-Minnesota player previews Lakers' plan to guard Anthony Edwards in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. After a long regular season that saw the arrival of Luka Doncic to LA, the Lakers finished the year as the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. As a result, they are set to face the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the NBA playoffs. The most awaited matchup in this showdown will be Luka Doncic facing Anthony Edwards, which some could say is the battle of 2 potential faces of the league. Jared Vanderbilt, the former Minnesota player who now plays for the Lakers, spoke to the media about how the Lakers plan to defend Anthony Edwards going into this matchup. The Lakers forward played with Edwards for 3 years before he was traded to Utah for Rudy Gobert, so he's well acquainted with Edwards' style of play. He's a great offensive player, man. He's super physical, he's shooting it well this year, as you can see. So just continue to just make it tough for him. He can get going quick, so just not to get anything easy for him, said Vanderbilt to Ryan Ward of Lakers Nation. Looking at the explosive athletic and scoring ability of Anthony Edwards, he will undoubtedly be on top of the Lakers scouting report going into this series. His former teammate acknowledged that Edwards will be a key defensive focus for the Lakers. However, one of the primary concerns that Nico Harrison reportedly brought up while deciding to trade Luka was his inability to defend highly skilled players. So the major question for the Lakers will now be who will guard Edwards? A 40-year-old LeBron James certainly can't do it alone either, so Edwards presents a major problem for the Lakers to focus on. After the NBA world was stunned by the news that Luka Doncic had been traded to the Lakers, Anthony Edwards did not mince his words when addressing the trade. In his initial reaction, Edwards said, "They say that nobody knew about the trade. That's crazy. At 25, they traded probably the best scorer in the NBA. And he didn't know about it. There's a lot more digging somebody's gotta do to find out why he got traded. Because you don't just trade him at 25. He just went to the finals. I feel bad for Luka, man." Furthermore, it was reported that Luka was traded away due to the Mavericks having weight-related concerns as well. When asked about the same, Edwards also gave his 2 cents on the reported issue that triggered the trade decision. He said, "He didn't look 270 to me. Man, he averages 30 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. I don't give a damn if you're 300 pounds. You're fine with me." Anthony Edwards has historically fared well against the Lakers in the regular season. Edwards has averaged 21.8 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 3.5 assists in 17 games against the Lakers in his career. However, Edwards has not faced the Lakers in the playoffs before, although he has seen what Luka Doncic is capable of doing in the postseason. Last season, the Mavericks faced Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. Luka Doncic averaged 32.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 8.2 assists in 5 games against the Timberwolves in that series, which the Mavericks eventually won 4-1. It will be interesting to see how Anthony Edwards fares in this matchup. Will Luka Doncic prevail over him once again? Or will Edwards unleash his explosive abilities to end LeBron James' 5th championship ambitions? Let us know what you think in the comments. Lakers' J.J. Redick eager for playoff preparations against Timberwolves. His first season as an NBA head coach, J.J. Redick's eagerness for game planning for the Lakers' next opponent was evident. Now, he and his staff are about to face their biggest problem-solving challenge as a collective, strategizing for a first-round playoff series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, with Game 1 kicking off the series on Saturday night at Crypto.com Arena. The first thing, assistant coach, Greg St. Jean and head video coordinator Michael Wexler, have been really helpful, with, not just for me, but just for the whole staff, is the first thing was getting organized, Redick said after Tuesday's practice. In some ways, if we don't do it right, especially for me the first time, it's a little bit like when I first took the job. And I've got the draft, free agency, summer league, and it's all just happening at once and it's whoa, what just happened? I gotta hire my staff. What just happened? We've been very intentional starting last week about how we wanted this week to look. How we wanted what we present to the team, all that stuff. And we had 6 hours of meetings on Tuesday and a few hours on Monday. We feel good about where we are on Tuesday getting ready for a Saturday game. A part of that organization was making Tuesday, the Lakers' first practice ahead of Saturday's Game 1, focused on shooting and conditioning after wrapping up the regular season on Sunday afternoon in Portland and taking Monday off. Redick said Tuesday was intentionally not a mental day, with the plan to go into the mental and preparation side of game planning starting with Wednesday's practice. But even with the Lakers not fully diving into their preparations yet for the Timberwolves, who finished the regular season with a 49-33 record, 1 game behind the Lakers' 50-32 mark, Redick has made it clear how impressed he's been when watching film on Minnesota. "They're a really good basketball team," Redick said. "The more you watch them on film, the more you respect them. They're a better team than 49 wins. The other 3 teams that are top 10 in offense and defense, Oklahoma City Thunder, Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, all 60-win teams. Over the second half since Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo got back from injury about 50 games in, they played really well the last 20 or so games." Redick added that the key is preparing for Saturday's Game 1 and then being open-minded to adjustments afterward. "It's like any playoff series. You're gonna prepare for Game 1 and you're gonna go try to win Game 1, he said. And then from there, it's adjustment after adjustment. I can't tell you how Game 3's gonna go because I can't tell you how Game 1 and 2 went. We'll prepare for Game 1 and we'll go from there. Likely at the top of the Lakers scouting report is All-NBA guard Anthony Edwards, who averaged career highs in points, 27.3, and three-point percentage, 39.5%. His 323-point field goals led the NBA this season. Edwards also led the league in pull-up threes made, 230, shooting 38.5% on pull-ups from behind the arc. The thing that jumps out at you is just three-point volume, Redick said. His ability to make shots at a really high level off the bounce, his pick-and-roll threes, his ISO threes, dribble-in-transition threes, he shoots them all at a really high clip. He's still got his mid-range package. He's still got the ability to get to the rim and finish, but not many guys that can shoot off the dribble at volume from three can also make 40% of them. That unlocks a lot. JJ Redick makes major admission on key Lakers strength for 2025 NBA playoffs. The Los Angeles Lakers, 50-32, are heading into the 2025 playoffs with home court advantage in the first round against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 49-33. It's been a topsy-turvy season for the Lakers, who adjusted to their mid-season acquisition of Luka Doncic by emerging as one of the league's best defensive teams, solidifying their status as title contenders. Lakers head coach JJ Redick spoke to the media before Game 1 of the series, openly admitting that the team's defense is going to be their key to success, with this being reinforced by their success to end the season. You're gonna have games where you don't have a 106 defensive rating. That's why it's your average defensive rating. You might have some 98s mixed in there, and you might have some 132s mixed in there. You're gonna have some of those outliers, and that's understandable in an 82-game season. We've done enough now, starting with the first Houston game through the last 2 weeks. It reinforced what we did for 25 games. JJ Redick says the last several weeks of the regular season reinforced the Lakers' belief that they will win based on their defense. And he specifically credits LeBron James' leadership on that end of the floor. pic.twitter.com/NAS83ZKNJH, Dave McMenamin, at 10, April 16, 2025. The Lakers had a 114.7 defensive rating this season, good enough for 15th best in the NBA. They had a defensive menace like Anthony Davis patrolling the paint for a majority of the season, but their defense stayed strong after Davis's departure. Despite the addition of a player like Doncic, who has a poor defensive reputation, Redick has implemented an excellent system. Their defense ensures the team maintains its shape at a high level without having a reliable big man on the floor. This defensive success has been boosted by LeBron James' efforts on that end and the increasing role of forward Dorian Finney-Smith. When it comes to the playoffs, the Lakers know the presence of Luka and LeBron will give them a major offensive edge. Doncic averaged 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists this season as a Laker, while LeBron averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists.